Hello people, this is Eric Cobra and this is Let's Play Dragon Age Blind. Last time we killed Flemeth. And today we'll give her grimoire to Morrigan. Oh. There. There you go.
Mother's real grimoire, is it? I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it. I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds.
You're welcome. Hopefully this will teach her that there's nothing wrong with helping those who are currently unable to help themselves. Hopefully. I shall.
It speaks. Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go.
No, stay. You've been
No
helpful.
doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
I like Shale. He's cool. Hi, Sten.
You called.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Yeah. That
To
sounds
put
good.
it lightly, no one has a place here. Our farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Yeah.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Well, what do you like?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies?
Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
I'll keep that in mind.
Shall we move on?
Well, don't you ever wish to be anything different?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
Yeah. But doesn't the shell make the turtle stronger?
Does it? It's also his weakness. If he stumbles and falls over, it pins him on his back. It is better to armor yourself with no more than what you need. One life, one duty.
Oh. Well, I can kind of see the point. What about happiness?
You can learn to find it in doing your duty, in serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go.
As you wish.
Interesting. Alistair, you want to talk?
Something on your mind? Of course. Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Something on your mind? Of course.
Yeah, let's ask this.
You never asked?
Well, personally I would never attack the last one that I thought we were friends. But I would probably ask if it was because she didn't trust me.
We are friends. I didn't mean to... It wasn't supposed to... Oh, let me explain. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
Well, I guess I can understand that.
I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me likes you not knowing.
Can you explain?
It's just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I was the bastard prince instead of just being Alistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
No, I can understand that somewhat.
For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. I guess I should be thankful that Arl Eamon is far more likely to inherit the throne. If he's alright. I hope he's alright. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It was a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, don't worry. You told it in the end, and, well, no harm, no foul.
It's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go.
Liliana, do you have anything to say?
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Yeah, you're a bard. Any history?
Of course I do.
Stories?
I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Anything from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
Okay.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Continue.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered. Aveline
Continue,
won many
please.
events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Wow. let's move on. Nice story. Wynne, you have anything happy to say?
Irving told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle.
Well, I still stand by my decision.
Yes, I'm sure you do, and I respect that. Irving told me he was relieved Duncan was still willing to recruit you. But that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you.
Yeah. Why?
Do not squander this time trying to explain why Irving picked you. Accept it, and be the Grey Warden you're supposed to be. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
I've never been much into fate and stuff like that, but who knows?
Here I am.
Question time.
This should be good. Go ahead.
Okay, let's ask what's left.
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin after all is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
You didn't choose to join the Crows?
To be truthful, I didn't even know the Crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
That sounds awful.
Oh, I don't know about that. The Crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a Crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
Yeah, I can kinda understand that.
As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
Well, I'm happy to have you along.
And here I am, happy to be had. Isn't it wonderful how things work out that way? Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the Crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Oh, that reminds me. If Sten now had that boast, then... I still don't know what he wants. Bugger. Okay, let's talk with the dog.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Okay. Nice to see them bonding. Well, let's do some shopping then.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me. I'm sure...
Well, this would be nice to have now. And yeah, I should probably wait with buying any more armor until people are ready to wear all this. This is some massive armor. Did I have anything to sell?
You and your friends are formidable.
No, not really. Well, I suppose it's time to move on then. And I think it would be a good time to talk to the elves and investigate if they can help us.
Huh.
Which means we'll be going out into the forest, so I think Morgan will feel at home. And Severin, well, he's an elf.
Yes.
He gets to come. And... a home for Millie. Sten or Shale? Let's take Sten. It's been a while. Maybe we can even get to level him up, and then he can maybe wear this awesome armor. Hopefully.